Television is something that is so ubiquitous that it is not even limited to televisions anymore. It is easy to forget the drastic measures needed to make TV accessible for the audience. For example, in 1948, the FCC ordered a 6-month-long freeze on the application process for stations' licenses in order to figure out how to provide more channel space for them and allow viewers to reach them easily. The freeze would not actually end until 1952. That is 4 years. Imagine waiting that long to get HBO. The Big Freeze was a chaotic moment in time, but it led to a greater understanding of video transmissions and evolved network TV into what it is today. Backstory. In 1941, the FCC approved the commercial use of television. In 1945, there were only 6 television stations on the air, and they transmitted with a very high frequency, or VHF. This frequency only allowed for 12 channels, which was displayed as 2 through 13 on the television dial. This was adequate for the time, but after World War II, the demand for TV sets and programming skyrocketed with the return of the soldiers and the baby boom. In fact, many former Army radio operators and engineers used their talents to form and work in television stations. Soon there were more TV station applicants than the FCC could ever fit on a 12-channel dial. So in September of 1948, the Big Freeze began. With the Big Freeze, the FCC started a massive overhaul of the U.S. television services. This led to the creation of the ultra-high frequency, or UHF, which expanded the number of channels of a TV from 12 to 82. The UHF channels were not as valued as the VHF channels, but they gave enough space for these extra stations that just keep popping up. More importantly, however, the freeze led to television networks like NBC and CBS to dominate TV entertainment. Even before the freeze, TV networks were providing quality entertainment that independent stations could not afford to produce. So these stations became affiliates for the networks, buying the right to program network entertainment. Any station that was able to get an application before the freeze desperately went to these networks for programming material. These stations became affiliates to these networks, meaning NBC and CBS essentially controlled the majority of TV entertainment of these stations. Then ABC merged with United Paramount Theaters to compete with these networks, which sent American network television on the path to becoming the standard for TV entertainment for decades. A lot happened during the Big Freeze. Certainly more than what I can fit into this video, like how the FCC provided channel space for educational television and the advent of color TV. But in that time, the FCC made television accessible to a massive and ever-growing audience and allowed for TV networks to standardize entertainment. Ultimately, the Big Freeze is vital in understanding modern media in that it reveals the immense technical complexity to make television easy and accessible for the public. Whenever someone changes the channel, it is a result of one chaotic period of preparation and innovation set in motion.